Just watch spoiler talk for X-MenApocalypse. Hey guys, I'm Joseph. We're talking X-Men spoilers. Alright, so hopefully you've seen X-MenApocalypse. If not, there will be spoilers in this video. I did do a non-spoiler review, so fair warning, I will put a link to that non-spoiler review for you so you can go ahead and check that out. Check out the movie and then come back here and we can talk about some spoilers. One of the first things I noticed was in the very beginning when we see Angel is doing his whole cage match thing when we first see Nightcrawler. But right before we see the guy he just beat, the guy he just beat was the Blob, and I think a very comic accurate Blob. Black suit with the like yellow stomach band thing. It looked awesome. The only thing he was missing was hair, but I'll take it. I think that's as close as we're gonna get to seeing an actual Blob. So I thought that was pretty cool. Also, we do see Nightcrawler in her circus outfit, get up, whatever you prefer, which is a nice nod to the comics. You know, little things like that in this movie is what I liked because there were little details that, as a comic fan, as a comic reader, you're kind of just like, thank you. Let's jump into Magneto. So we see Magneto. He's living a normal life, has his daughter, he's married, he has a wife, very happy, and he's living a normal life. You know, he's living the dream. And at work, there's this accident, this huge thing holding some hot liquid, something molten, is falling. He's about to crush this dude, saves him using his power. And then, you know, in his face, you can see he's like, damn it, now we got to go. He gets home, he's telling his wife, he's like, we got to pack, we got to go. I'm sorry, we got to leave. Because he knows, no matter, even though he did something good, they're going to freak out, and they know who he is now. By the time they get outside to meet with the daughter, there's a bunch of officers out there with his daughter, and he convinces them, you know what, let my family alone, I'll go with you. But when he's being taken away, the daughter starts freaking out and screaming. Birds start to swarm, and these officers are like freaking out, and then this one is just releases an arrow on accident, and it just goes straight through the daughter's back and through the wife's chest, killing them both. And that scene really just like, wow, because I was like, damn. And that just pushes him past his limit. Magneto slaughters them with that same arrow, and then you see him go to the place where he was working, gives this badass speech, and he's pretty much like, I saved it, like you guys are about to die. And that's when Apocalypse shows up. So Apocalypse is recruiting throughout the movie. He starts out with Storm, and the way he convinces them, because they're not no brain control, no mind control, none of that. He convinces them because with Storm, he like touches her and he like unleashes her full potential as a mutant. That's when her hair turns white and she gets full potential for powers. So that's how he's convincing him. He gets Psylocke, he gets Angel. Angel's wing is damaged, and they're like, well, he used to be a good fighter. And he's like, Apocalypse like, he's not done yet. And then that's when you see Archangel. So that's what he uses. He uses that anger, that sadness from Magneto to recruit him. And he takes him to Auschwitz, you know, where we see the cage when he first started doing his Magneto-style powers. You see the cage, and he obliterates that place. Beautiful scene, beautiful picture. It looked awesome. So that's what he uses to really get them to join, to become his horsemen. Speaking of Apocalypse, I think Oscar Isaacs did a great job with what he had. But I was disappointed with Apocalypse's character in the movie. And one of the huge things that really disappointed me was, okay, in the trailers, one thing that really got me excited for the movie is that we see Apocalypse grow. And he crushes Professor X. But I was like, sweet, we're going to see him grow in the movie. Okay, so he may not look perfect. He may not look as good as I'd want him to look. But at least they're going to do the character some justice with the power uses and really give us Apocalypse. And the only time he grows is in the Apocalypse versus Professor X mental battle that they're having, some Inception style shit. And he grows there. That's the only time he grows. So I was like, why doesn't he grow in real life to beat some bitches down? It's Apocalypse. Apocalypse is one of Marvel's biggest villains. He's a very powerful villain, and I feel like this movie kind of sells him short in that sense. And I feel like Oscar's a badass actor, and I feel like he could have really gave us a badass Apocalypse. Definitely could have looked better. But I was like, I was willing to let go of the looks if they did him justice in the movie. And there was moments where you're like, cool, and then there's moments like, what the fuck? Shake you. So that was one of my letdowns with Apocalypse. And, you know, there's moments where, like, he should do some Apocalypse stuff and kind of be like, alright, no. Like, you're nothing. Get the hell out of my way. I'm Apocalypse. Like, you don't phase me kind of shit. So that was one of the reasons that I felt like the character was okay, and stuff like that kind of just didn't make me truly love the character. So once Apocalypse has his horsemen, he goes to the X mansion to capture Professor X. And Havoc, trying to save him, does his whole beam, but the portal closes too quickly and he hits the X-Wing, blowing up the mansion. But that's when we get a really cool scene because Quicksilver shows up and he does that whole Days of Future Past running, everything's in slow-mo, with the badass Sweet Dreams on me playing while he's doing his running. And you see him start and he's just running people out, and then he starts throwing people out windows onto bed sheets and saves the dog with the pizza, but he also gets pizza. So I thought that was hilarious. Badass scene, of course. That scene really steals the show. You have to love those scenes. I think this scene was definitely better than Days of Future Past scene with him, and that scene was awesome. So this scene was awesome. But after that, like, hilarious scene, you get hit by, like, a real moment when you find out that he didn't save everyone because Havoc was so close to the explosion that it was too late even by the time he got there. And Havoc is dead. And then at this same moment is when Jean, Scott, Nightcrawler, and Jubilee show back up because they had gone to the mall. And that's when they come back and he's like, where's my brother? Where's Alex? And that's when you find out he's dead. Soon after the explosion of the mansion is when Stryker shows up and he captures Mystique, Beast, Quicksilver, and Moira. And then, of course, Nightcrawler, Jean Grey, and Scott sneak onto the helicopter and they use Nightcrawler's teleportation. Plus Jean Grey's like, I'm not here, you don't see me. So that's how they sneak in, on board I should say, to the helicopter. And then that's when we're going to Alkali Lake, where we do see a badass Wolverine cameo, which is awesome. Because we see Wolverine in the full Weapon X outfit. And it's awesome because they open the door and they're like, there's some kind of animal in there. But there's all the Stryker's men are coming, so they panic, they open it up, and you just see like his foot hit the ground, and they pan up and you see the belt and then the wires and then the helmet. And I was like, oh shit, that's Weapon X. He's about to kill everybody. And damn, just Wolverine go berserk and slaughters everybody dead. Blood all over the place. All them people dead. Wolverine just straight up slaughters everybody. It was beautiful. Sounds a little crazy. Don't pay too much attention to that. It was just beautiful because Wolverine did it. That was awesome. Stryker's men are gone. Stryker books it because he's like, fuck this, deuces. So really, Wolverine saved everyone, not them. So they had help. No, they were the help. They opened the door and then they're like, all right, do your thing. So that was pretty badass. And then you do see a moment where Jean Grey actually walks up to him and like touches him, and she says that she unlocked or gave him back a few of his past memories, or the ones she could. And he runs off into the snow with the long hair. And I was like, whoa, yes. So in the final fight scene, but real quick, throughout the whole entire movie, Quicksilver's main goal is to talk to Magneto and be like, yo, you my daddy, I'm your son, we family. But there's a perfect moment for it where him and Mystique are trying to convince him to come back to the good side. Like, bro, you need to help us out. And Quicksilver's like, yeah, I'm here because of my family too, and doesn't say shit about him being his dad. I was like, bro, you know, that moment right there, I'd have been like, yo, you are my dad. We related. Don't do this. Magneto probably would have been like, oh, I still have family? I guess I'm not alone. Shit. How is that not the perfect moment for that? So that kind of upset me a little bit. But then again, it's kind of forgiven because right after we see Quicksilver do his thing and just run up on Apocalypse, just doof, doof, and you just see Apocalypse flying around, just just, God, what the, damn it, what? Until, of course, he gets the better of him. He's like analyzing. He's like, I see it, and then breaks his leg. I was like, oh, why his leg? I know, so he can't run, but still, that's his leg. The fuck. And one of the biggest moments, of course, is in the final fight scene. Once they're all fighting Apocalypse, they've all decided, fuck Apocalypse. Apocalypse, of course, at the same time is fighting them, or more like protecting himself while he's fighting Professor X in that whole mental inception duel where he grows. Ugh. And that's when Professor X starts losing. He's like, yo, Jean, help me. Help. Yo, help. Assist. Yo, jump in anytime, please. And that's when we see Jean just like unleash a piece of her Phoenix power. And you see her straight just scream and the Phoenix aura around her on fire. You're just like, and she like de-atomizes Apocalypse. You just like fucking shred it. I was like, oh shit. That is beautiful. Once they defeat Apocalypse, we see them back at the mansion. It's being rebuilt by Magneto and Jean at the same time. And of course, Professor X at this point has lost his hair because Apocalypse was going to transfer all his consciousness to Professor X's body. He's going to use him to become the new Apocalypse for the new age. But he's defeated. We're at the X Mansion. And we see finally the X-Men in some X-Men style suits. The suits look awesome. They can still be better, but fuck, I'll take it. We finally get a taste and a glimpse of what they're supposed to look like. And it's in the danger room where we pan over and we see Sentinels from Days of Future Past walking up on them. And I was like, yes. And of course, there is an after credit scene, which gives us a possibility of a couple ideas, or they can combine them. So we see these men in suits show back up to the facility, and they get some Wolverine blood and put it in a suitcase. And when they close the suitcase, you see Essex Corp on it, aka Mr. Sinister. But also, I've heard a lot of rumors about that might be them leading to X-23, which is a female Wolverine, which could be replacing Wolverine in the future, since Hugh Jackman is going to do one more, which would be, I wouldn't be okay with, because I'm such a Wolverine fan. I think you can't have an X-Men team, and we're finally getting an X-Men team that looks awesome without Wolverine. I'd like to still see X-23, but I want my Wolverine, damn it. So we'll see where that goes. Also, this means there's going to be clones, and maybe we'll get a clone of Jean, and somehow, will lead us into Cable. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what they do with Mr. Sinister. Are we going to get Mr. Sinister? Also, I want to see the explanation on how Mr. Sinister is immortal, because in the comics, it's because he gets it from Apocalypse. So we have some options here to play with, and let's see where it goes. So let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any spoilers or any moments of the movie that I missed that you want to talk about down below in the comment section, so we can talk about that, because I might have missed a couple, or there's a couple that I maybe just didn't mention. So let me know down below. Alright guys, so don't forget to smash that like button for me. If you want to see more, you're going to want to click right here. And as always, it's a pleasure.